always been talking about the entertainment industry. For me, they are really making progress, and I'm super, super happy to be part of them because I am a Nigerian. So when you go out there,
Yeah.
Deborah, you find out that Nigerian songs,
Like they have really gone far,
we've gone far.
especially Afrobeat. The
Yes.
videos people listen to it now. I heard was it on a percentage of 100?
Mm,
I think they listen to Afrobeat more.
more.
Burna Boy, Arya
Mm.
Star. I think they asked, was it which award now? Was it last month or so? And they're
Okay.
asking some of these American actors who is their favorite Nigerian
Mm,
artist. I mean, who is their favorite artist?
mm.
And you hear Burna Boy, you hear Ashake, and they're
Yeah.
really making progress, and
They're
it's
really
nice.
making progress. And
Yeah.
talking about Mobad, I stumbled on a post, was it yesterday,
Yeah.
where the case over his death is still ongoing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
still
so they rearrested Prime Boy, one of his friends.
okay.
I think it's related to his death. Initially there's Naramali, there's Sam, and other
Yeah,
people that were arrested, and then eventually they
they
were
were
released.
released.
So now they arrested Prime Boy over the case. So we're praying that it gets to come to an end where people don't just take laws into their
Yeah,
hands.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you cannot just decide on your own. We are being told that he was killed, but of course they are not guilty until proven guilty.
guilty. Yeah,
But if that is the case, it's good for the law to take its course because it will help us to address issues of people taking laws into their
into their
hands.
hand. Yeah,
Yeah.
I also saw something that the family of Mubad, they were asking that his child, the child he left behind, they
Mm.
should run DNA test to confirm if it's his
If his
child.
child,
You
yeah.
know, there was also so many controversies about him and his wife
Yeah.
after his death, though. How his wife, they are not really sure if she has
If
been
she has
faithful
faithful to
and all
him.
of those. When he was even sick, they don't know if she was there. And I'm like, oh,
Why all the drama? But
let
then
him
it's
just rest in
okay.
peace now.
It's okay.
Yes.
Maybe he has, he's an entertainer and he has money. So
Normal.
everybody will want to know who is going to now
Be the
be,
success or who
be
will
the success.
inherit, who will be enjoying all those wealth.
Honestly,
Yeah.
we have quite a lot on entertainment and trending issues on social media, but we've been joined already in the studio by our guest. So we're going to move to the interview segment. Then, when we are done, we'll continue with some part of the
Entertainment.
entertainment stories. And so I'm going to let the Deborah introduce
Yeah.
our guest.
So this morning in the guest we have Mr. Godwin Ur here, a business entrepreneur, a coach, and a management expert. Good morning, Mr. Godwin.
Good morning, Deborah. Good
Good
Welcome.
morning,
morning.
Yeah.
PRTV.
Yes,
Yes,
good
sir.
morning. You're welcome
Yes.
to Tinted
Welcome
this
to
morning.
this morning.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't slander your name. I was struggling to pronounce it, Mr. Godwin
Who here?
It's Godwin Uriye.
Uri.
Uriye.
Yeah,
So the
sorry,
H
sir.
is silent.
The H is
It's
silent.
a tongue twister, though.
Okay. It is. Yeah, we're going to be focusing on a roadmap to unemployment reduction. So we're going to get straight into it. Mr. Godwin, how would you describe the level of unemployment in the country?
Well, the level of unemployment is very high. Since you made the intro, let me just elaborate a little bit.
Okay.
My name is Godwin Uriye. I'm the Director General of Institute of Entrepreneurship,
Mm.
International Institute of Professional Corporate Entrepreneurship and Leadership,
Okay.
IIPC for short.
Okay.
And I'm the chairman of Oakland Business School here in Jos.
Okay.
The issue of unemployment in Nigeria has been with us for a very long time,
Yeah.
but it has come to a head, a crescendo, because of the poor economy in the last 8 years,
Yeah.
8 going to 9 years now. And with that, the people who are most affected are the youth because we have a largely youthful population.
Yeah.
Over 60% of Nigeria population are under 25, and that puts a lot of pressure on the employment opportunities.
Yeah.
Suffice to say that the way to go for employment generation is business.
Mm.
most times, particularly in Plateau State, we hear that this is a civil service state.
Yeah.
And that notion had really affected the way things are done and how wealth is created.
Yeah.
So the trajectory I'll be following is to tell you that the way to unemployment reduction and poverty eradication is entrepreneurship and business.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So, what talking about unemployment rate? What could have been the issue, or what could have been responsible for the high rate of unemployment? Because looking at 2023, we had a 4.2 increase rate. It was initially 4.1, then there was a 0.1 increase rate on it, making it 4.2. So it means that the rate of unemployment in Nigeria now is increasing by the day. So what could be responsible for that?
Well, since 2015, 2016, there has been a steady decline in the GDP of the country. By GDP, we mean the gross domestic product, which is a measure of the total goods and services being produced in the country.
Yeah.
And then I think around 2016, the country went into recession
Yeah.
and recovered towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
We thought things are going to continue on the upward swing until COVID-19 came in 2019, and the whole of a good part of, I think, almost the whole of 2020. So, from the National Bureau of Statistics, the small and medium businesses in Nigeria collapsed from about 40 million on the database to about 39 million, which means 2 million jobs or 2 million businesses were lost. Primarily, assuming there's just only one employee per organization, that means you have lost 2 million jobs. But of course, we know that some of these jobs, businesses have 1 or 2 employees. So
Yeah.
just must do the arithmetic. That will tell you what happened within that period. Unfortunately, after the COVID-19, there has not been a substantial recovery. Most of the government programs to bring the economy back on track were not properly managed. So, instead of the economy to go on the upward swing, it is getting worse and worse. And don't forget too, that within this period we begin to suffer a high level of insecurity.
Yeah.
And the insecurity itself threw a lot of people into unemployment. Farmers can no longer go to farm. People can no longer travel. Kidnapping has now become a very rampant issue. I think just last week, over 200 students were kidnapped in Kaduna, very close by here, and another about 200 were kidnapped right from inside the IDP camp in Borno State. And of course, these figures also represent people who do not have access to employment, whether they are unemployed or underemployed. So we could say that the key contributory factors to unemployment in Nigeria is insecurity and poor economic management.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, still on this unemployment that you've been elaborating on, what would you say is the attendant consequences? What would you say is the result and the risks of unemployment in Nigeria?
The first result is poverty,
Okay.
because when every economy runs on the production of goods and services.
Yeah.
So where there are no employment, that means the aggregate production of goods and services in that very economy is going down.
Yeah.
And the more people you employ, that's an indication of the more goods and services being produced.
Okay.
Now, I think the question that needs to be asked is, why do we have the economy going down?
Okay.
And why does that result in unemployment? Uh, the African economy, which Nigeria is part of, has been largely a consumer economy. It's not a productive economy. So in the aggregate, you discover that Nigerian economy produce primary goods, which is oil and agricultural produce that we largely export to buy finished goods into the country. Now, when you export raw materials rather than finished goods,
Yeah.
you are also exporting jobs in the value chain that are supposed to convert that raw material to the finished product. The case of petroleum or petrol is a very, very straightforward case in point. We have been an exporter of crude oil for the past 60 years. And as of today, we don't have a single functioning refinery. So, apart from the jobs that are being lost, revenues are being lost, and the scarce foreign exchange, which we get from the export of that crude oil, is now being used to import finished petroleum products in form of petrol, diesel, and aviation fuel and kerosene. So it is a very terrible situation. Let's take a case like Plateau, where we are known for producing potato. It will interest you that Plateau potato and other producers of potato will ship it in their raw form to even other states in Nigeria without adding any value. I remember as far back as when I was in the secondary school and undergraduate, there's this sliced potato chips, Pringles, which is imported into this country. If you still go to any shop in any supermarket, you still see Pringles. And I'm talking of something over 30 years ago. Now, up till now, we don't have a replica of Pringles being produced either here on the Plateau or any other place. Plantain chips, why can't we chip it and package it? What is sweet potatoes, why can't we chip it and package it? There are so many products that we have which we are happy to just export in raw form. I remember when our minister then, Chief Adogbe, was Minister of Agriculture. He experimented exporting yam tuber to, I think, US or somewhere. And of course, all of them got spoiled on the way. I don't know who advised the ministry or minister then, but I don't think that exporting tuber of yam with over 50 to 60% moisture content is a very well-advised strategy, because you cannot preserve it for the long journey it's going to take, and it will not meet the standard for international food preservation. So these are the mistakes that we make in our economic drive that leads to job losses, loss of revenue, and of course, poverty creation rather than reduction.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you initially from your introduction, you talked about entrepreneurship, encouraging entrepreneurs on how to start up something. And if we're trying to explore these measures, is also part of government strategies in reducing unemployment. And so they've talked about, yes, encouraging people to go into small scale businesses where they produce goods and they offer services. But has it been sustainable? Because if you're talking about encouraging entrepreneurs, it means that you have to make financial support available as government. So has this been sustainable, the financial support, maybe through grants and the rest of them, in encouraging entrepreneurs?
Well, let me make some key points. There are fundamentals to all these things. Entrepreneurship is the way to go.
Yes.
In fact, when you say entrepreneurship, it's as if you are saying something new. What has happened is that the government has become the biggest entrepreneur in the Nigerian economy and most African economy. For example, NNPC is an entrepreneurial pursuit. Entrepreneurship does not limit the scale, whether it's micro, small, medium, or large enterprise.
Yeah.
So your NNPC is a large enterprise. Dangote is a large enterprise, but it's still within the entrepreneurship ecosystem. What every balanced economy does is to ensure that there is a very big support for the nano, micro, small, and medium enterprises, which now feeds the large industries. Because the large industries may not have the capability of getting close to the source of the raw material. But by using growing the micro, small, and medium enterprises, they create the feedstock that supplies the raw materials to the large enterprises or large industries. Let me say quickly at this point that one of the wrong strategy we have with our large industry is that they are import dependent in their raw materials. So if you go to a company like Nestle, like Coca-Cola, like Nigerian breweries, like all the big names you find, they still import largely raw materials from outside the country. So these are not, truly speaking, the right structure of an economy. The right structure is that you utilize locally made raw materials to produce the goods and services which are now consumed locally, and the excess, or if there's a deliberate exportation policy, you export to other countries. After all, the ones we are buying, they are being exported from other countries with the raw materials being produced in those countries. So that is the first strategy. The second strategy, which we need to begin to pay attention to, which is the question you asked, is that the micro, small, and medium enterprises is the engine room of any economy. And the economy cannot run without those sectors running very well. By the way, the micro and small enterprises, as are today, provides up to 50%, 46 to 50% of the GDP of this country. And they employ up to 90% of the workforce in this country. So it is a sector that you cannot toy with at all. Now, I have always advocated in public fora like this that it does not make strategic sense. It does not give, it does not anticipate the right outcome. If somebody who has never been in business is being given grants of 1 million, 5 million, 10 million to go into business, while the ones that are already existing in the business are not given any support. So, in order to answer your question, right now as we speak, there's no concerted government policy to provide grants or soft loans to micro and small enterprises in Nigeria as of today. It's been, there are government talk about providing such support, but as of today, there's none that is functional in any of the states and at federal level. So hopefully with the Renew Hope agenda, they will get onto it. But right now, one of the ways to revamp the economy, and very fast too, is to provide grants to small and medium enterprises so that One, they will be able to raise their capital and begin the production of goods and services, which will in turn employ our youths.
Yeah.
Don't forget that I said MSMEs, that's what we call the micro, small, medium enterprises. They provide 90% of the job.
Yes.
So by the time any micro, small, and medium enterprises is giving employment, you are automatically doubling the number of micro, small, and medium enterprises in the country. That is the implication.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think you've even answered the next question on how to deal with unemployment in the country, how to deal with it, how to reduce it, and see how we can actually start building or having functional enterprises, bigger businesses to reduce this, because it's really a challenge in the country. Because if you look at it, most of all these issues we have, if they had been employed, if they have a job to go to, if they have something doing, we will not have them. So I think you've answered it, but if you could just elaborate a little more on it or talk about it a little on how we can tackle and deal with unemployment in Nigeria.
Yes, I think over the years, if you take up to 30 years now, the government's policy, both at national and subnational level, have been somewhat haphazard. In the sense that there's no consistent policy which helps to ensure a sustainable business environment and at the same time business growth and expansion. Because every business starts from conception to growth to expansion and where is very successful diversification. A very good example is Dangote that you know. Dangote started as a commodity trader. Right now, they have gone into manufacturing, cement, and now they are into petroleum. So we can see a progression from trading to manufacturing to diversification. Now, the SMEDAN as an organization, that's Small and Medium Enterprises, have trained some people that we call business development service provider. I am a business development service provider, which is a national license enabling such experts to support businesses and train them on how to manage it effectively. Now, closely related to that is that I'm the Director General of the International Institute of Professional Corporate Entrepreneurship and Leadership. Now our focus is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship has been practiced like a vocation. People just walk into a business. When they fail, they say, people from their village have pursued them out of business. But there is a principle, and that's why it is professional entrepreneurship. So we train the business owners on the principles of sustainable business management. And because of this, when people like our members, when they get into business, they are assured of growth and development and expansion. Now, every business owner needs continuous training, and you cannot stay and be doing the same thing over and over again and expect new results. So continuous and periodic training is one of the tools that we use to continue to upscale the knowledge and competencies of businesses. Because if you are operating at a particular level and you want to move to the next level, you must have a training that will also move you to that level. Let me give you a very simple example. If you are a very good barber, for example, I'm looking for a very simple example now, and you barb very well. For you to increase your capacity, you must employ 2 or 3 more barbers. And by the time you are doing that, you are now moving from skill management to people management. And if you don't have the skill to manage people, yes, you may have more people on the job, but the productivity may not be commensurate. So you are trained on how to manage people. You are trained on how to manage your resources. That's your financial resources. You are trained to market to your customers. You are trained on how to even use the digital space to market your goods and services. So all these are the things that will help existing businesses to grow. And the more they grow, the more our economy will increase, and the more people you can now employ. And the problem of unemployment is either reduced or eliminated. It is possible to eliminate unemployment because the world's population is always growing.
Yeah.
So there is always more goods and services needed. Although we can also say that technology is changing, and so with change in technology, some people are moved out of that sector. But at the same time, new sectors are emerging. So we can
Thank you.
work with government and see that unemployment is reduced to the barest minimum.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. There you have it. Concerning unemployment reduction, we've been speaking with Mr. Godwin Urhier. He is a businessman, an entrepreneur coach, and a management expert. And so we're going to take a short break. When we return, we'll continue with FinCity this morning.